we are in beautiful Wyoming. Snow up to our ears and deeper. It's the first time in 20 some years that I can remember the snow hanging around this long in Colorado, where I just came from. But we see patches of green, patches of brown, patches of dirt, and we haven't been up here to play with this guy for over a month. And so we just dance with the girl we brought. We don't say, oh, he's had forever off. And he's, oh, we expect a wild man. No, we don't expect anything but a horse. And he says, well, I've missed you guys too. So we're going to try to work our way over here to where we can get a brush and scratch a little bit of dirt and crud off this poor skinny little guy. Looks like he's sitting around eating and getting a little chubby. Little chubby. I don't know if that's what we want to start with, but we'll just see what happens. Oh, we might have to get closer to the phone, but what we're doing is finding out if this brush will stick in my hand. The hard part is getting used to doing this with gloves on. You're pretty wild. Oh, there, it'll work out. It'll work out. Sometimes when it's cold, our brain thinks one thing and our mouth says something else. So we don't have to get closer to the phone. We might have to get closer to the camera. But it is what it is. A lot of people think because this is a Mustang, oh, you haven't touched him for a month. He hasn't forgotten us and we haven't forgotten him. It's just as people, sometimes it's too cold to come out and play. But we don't want to leave it forever. There's a brush that might stick in my hand a little bit. You notice I'm not demanding that he be right in a right shape, walking right by my side, out where if he leaves real fast he can kick me in the knee or any of that. Well, yeah, he's got a lot of junk in his tail, but we got to work our way back there. Gotta have him beautiful. Gotta have him beautiful. We heard the inspector's coming to see him next week, so gotta make sure he hasn't got any big scars or any signs of abuse. He still has 4 feet and all that good stuff that they want to see. I guess he can't go very far if he walks off, so we just throw that rope down there because, oh well, now he's loose. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to pull this out. Look at all that gray coming here. Oh man, I don't know if the film can see that. We might have to get close enough to... CJ, maybe you can find me some kind of a comb or something. He's got a bunch of crud in there that this little brush just don't want to get. But, oh, we'll get up here. You got tangles underneath there. Oh, you've been hiding those. You've been curling them up inside like dreadlocks. No, that hand is not to chew on. What happened to your manners, huh? You think just because you haven't seen me for a while, you could just chew on me like I'm one of your old buddies? That's all you're doing. Have you looked in his tail lately? Oh, and maybe it's hard to tell. Yep, you're going to be gray. He says, now he doesn't know what to do. You guys have surrounded me. You're just showing me the spots we missed. You know, we can't recommend that everybody do this, but with 60 some years of experience, we don't want to count up and get exact dates because somebody might say, oh no, you missed that by a year. But over 50 years, and I can say over 60 years, that, you know, you try to follow the rules, do this, don't do that, but it all comes down to there are no rules. Adjust to fit the situation. The guy is curious about me, then he got curious about CJ working on the other end, and we have never double teamed him. So this is what you see is what you get. We're having a relationship between the three of us, and we just have to look out for each other that we don't create something over here that causes her to get in trouble over here. He thinks he ought to take the brush and start brushing himself. CJ doesn't understand that, or she can't see that he's up here trying to take the brush. She can probably feel that he's a little distracted. Show him those great big gray streaks in that. Put that in the camera so that we'll say one day, remember that was all nice shiny black? But I bet when the spring heat comes and the winter hair leaves, he's going to have a lot more visible gray. So you probably ought to take a few pictures. Oh no, you got film running. But if you had a few photographs that you could put on display and say, hey, yep, this is the same horse. I think we're about ready to do something a little more productive. But then again, for a guy that's just been loose, yep, CJ had to call him 2 or 3 times today before he decided to leave his buddies and come and play with us. But we'll go back here and start reviewing things. Now see there, he wants to get in that bucket. He has an idea of what he'd like to have done today. Maybe we'll just pick something off the wall if it comes out available. Oh, there, he found water. He might have needed that drink, or he probably wouldn't have stopped and had it. We're just exercising my hand, exercising me. It's a little cold in here. We don't know exactly what it is, but we see that he's not too excited about this. He says, oh, I got an itch. Now, as long as I'm just exercising the flag, it means nothing. But if I stop, change my focus and my intent, look up there and say, I suggest you go over there. There. That's all it was a suggestion. Now, I didn't ask you to stop, so we just keep looking out there. There. And I suggest you move on. Now, if you got to hurry, that's okay. You'll warm up a little bit. But we don't have to go on forever. So maybe while we set this up, we can sit here and talk to that end. Now maybe I can suggest you go over there. Go over there. This guy has grown quite a bit, CJ. Yeah. I'm not going to nag him to go, but now we're going to allow him to see if he can find a place. Just, he's got an itch there. He's got an itch. Sometimes you got an itch, you got to stop and scratch it. You can't say, oh, take care of that on your own time. No, because if I allow him to do something once in a while, hey, it's not hurting me for him to stop an itch. Someday when I've got an itch, he'll let me stop and scratch it. So it's just the way it is. Just the way it is. He thinks he's a tracking dog. Chances are the cats have run around in here. The tractor and the truck have moved out of here, but probably because the tractor and the trailer and everything else was in here, he hasn't been. Not with all this snow and everything else going on out here. And we get to just do lots of things right here. It don't matter that he's checking this out. Oh, now we got it tangled up. Now what are we going to do? Let's just see how it plays out. Oh, yeah. What are you going to do? Huh? Things happen. People get excited. He's pulling on himself. You can see I'm holding a conversation. Oh, maybe the answer is to roll. We don't care. Might be more comfortable rolling in here than it is out there in the snow. Let's see. Let's see. We're allowing him. He walked into this pickle. Let's see what he can do about it. A lot of people would panic. Wait a minute. If I panic, then my panic would probably cause him to panic. Then you have two panics running around trying to find the door. So we're not in any kind of problem. If we were in a real problem, we could drop the rope and just start over. Now he's kind of saying, well, now, what do you think? Oh, because he kind of looked over here, whether that was an accident or what, I'm just going to say he looked at me for a little bit of help. Now he's got a dirty nose. Oh, well, you carry it around, but you don't need to rub it on me. Look at there, now I've got dirty pants. No, you don't need to rub it on me. You're really worried, aren't you? Huh? Yeah. Now again, this is just exercising the flag. That's pretty nice. See there? He ran out of slack. You don't have to tug and jump up and down and get all excited. There. Now, see what happens if we just take up the slack and wait. There. Oh, this stick jumped out of my hand. Now you notice when the slack goes out of the rope, because he ran into it. I didn't take the slack away. There. That wasn't bad. But just go over there. I'll give you an opportunity to quit in a minute. Now you get your nose down there and you get your toes over it and you get tangled up again. Notice how carefully he stepped over the flag. Horses will very seldom step on your equipment. We are playing with the horse. I'm working on my patience. I'm working on just having a relationship. He's still a youngster. He might be considered 2 now. I doubt that he's 2. But it's funny how we put laws and say, well, if he was a thoroughbred, he'd be 2. If he was something else. But we don't have to ride him in the Rose Bowl parade tomorrow. So we can just have a little fun, have a little relationship, and say, hey, if I make it all drudgery, someday when I want to ride him, he might not want to be ridden. But if we can make it fun, play as we go, pay for it later, hey, things will be all right. Things will be all right. We need to get a few more toys out of the toy box. Come on. Can you stand over here beside me? There. Now, don't go away. We're going to fix up something here. Again, the hard part is gloves. Gloves. But we'll see what we can work out here. That, whoop. Might not be able to do it with gloves. That's what they make pockets for. A lot of people wear gloves all year round. I hardly ever wear gloves because they just lose too much feeling. Now, you're probably going to say, what's that? Well, that's a rope. It's dangling where it might tickle a spot. He still wants to play. I'm going to see if I can get my gloves back on while I'm avoiding his teeth. Oh, now he's got the halter down. I better leave my gloves off and fix the halter before he gets the halter caught on a tooth. That's what happens. Yeah. Yeah, your head didn't shrink. The halter just wasn't up tight enough to start with. That's better. Now let's go back to putting gloves on. That's just to fit the situation. It's something some of us heard from the man. Ray Hunt used to remind us, just to fit the situation. You might have a plan, but if you get too focused on your plan, sometimes you miss what's really going on. Now that rope down there, dangling around his knees, down around his back feet, doesn't bother him a lot. So maybe someday if I go to rope something and get a rope caught, maybe we'll work it up. If we can adjust it, he thinks I'm his buddy. He'd go out there and take a little nip at his buddy to see what you're going to do about it. Well, he He just wants to play. He just wants to play. But maybe it doesn't bother him at that speed, but maybe it does here. Doesn't look like it bothers him too much. But CJ still thinks she might want to have him pull her toboggan one of these days. So if he's going to be pulling things, he needs to have ropes wherever they might fit. Maybe if we get a chance to stop here, there, we'll just adjust it. Yeah, we'll see if we can adjust it without taking the gloves off. Let's see here. If we pull up on that one. There. Now if I pull the right rope, I won't come completely undone. Now don't be leaving. See, and I might just have to put an eye in there so I don't have so many ropes to play with. There's the one I want to hold. Now, we just take that. Yep. Gloves are the problem. Okay. Now he's going to take the flag and chase me, he thinks. But it didn't bother him down low. Doesn't bother him down low, so maybe it doesn't bother him there. Maybe it won't bother him until he gets up under his tail. Now, he's just dinking around, just thinking that, hey, he's a big shot. Yeah, he made it through New Year's, didn't celebrate, doesn't have a hangover, but he had a good time. Now he thinks he can just walk over here. Yeah, we can visit with him for a while, but when he starts trying to take over, I'm going to give him a little bit more to do, a little more to be focused on. Yeah. Again, that rope doesn't bother him up there. Let's see if he can find a place to stop. Oh, he can. Let's see if he can back up. Not very well. Try it again. That's better. See? Yeah. There's no sense going very far wrong. Just fix it up and ask again. Now, go over that way. Go over that way. That's far enough. That's far enough. Now go back over that way. Oh, he says, I've been saving all this. Yeah, it's cold. It's cold. Again, we're dancing with the one we brought. He hangs out, and then he thought, well, maybe he was getting a little bored. Maybe he's getting a little bored. But we'll give him a chance to stop there. Now we'll just see if he can just stand there quiet like a gentleman for a minute. There's no sense being in a hurry, jump here. No, you just stay right there. Yeah, I might have to get off and tie my shoe or something. Might have something to do. So sometimes it's a good idea just to go stand there. Now how about just standing right over there? To see if you can just move over there a little bit. A little more. That'll do. Right there. Right there. Lots of little jobs. A lot of people get so busy worrying about the big job, they forget that, wait a minute, if you take a lot of little jobs and tie them together, all of a sudden you got a big job done. So you break it down into smaller pieces. You don't eat a tuna all at once. It's one bite at a time. Now go back over there and stand by the flag. Once he's gone, let him go. Now start about thinking about where to stop. Yeah, where to stop. There. A lot of us just want to go. We don't know where we want to go. But if we get particular and say, now I want you to go stand by the end of that gate panel, that takes a little bit more thought. That's pretty close. Oh, his nose is at the end. Couldn't ask for a lot more than that. Now maybe we'll stop up here. There's a pair of jumper cables. I don't know if the camera will see them, but we'll see if he can find them. Okay. He says, well, that's kind of a tight spot maybe. Well, it's all right. Sometimes there are tight spots. Wait a minute. You got going so fast you forgot where we were going. Yeah, we don't just go on forever. Oh, there. See, it's okay to miss your goal, but keep it in mind. As long as he doesn't try to destroy him, we let him investigate him. He was born with a lot of curiosity. He still finds things to be curious about. Don't take that out of him. He says, oh, I might chew on them. No, they might be a necessary piece of equipment in this barn, so we can't allow him to destroy them. He's trying to think about taking over again. If you're not careful, he'll take over, and then he'll take off. Let's see what would happen if we untangle this rope. Oh, looky there, it can be untangled with gloves. Maybe what we'll do is change the line here now. If he leaves, he hasn't got very far he can go. So we'll say, hey, now I got to find the end of a rope. Yeah. Got to find the end. It's funny how they get accustomed to working in a 10-foot circle, a 12-foot circle, or stupid gloves. They just don't operate. I'm going to have to go home and work on my gloves. Okay. We'll just leave those gloves there and see if I can get along without them for a while. Now all of a sudden, we've changed our relationship a little bit. He can go out there a little farther. Oh, he ran into the end. Now, you go over there a little bit. That gloves won't fit. Yep, they don't fit horses very well. Oh, but look at all that nice hay over there. We find out, wait a minute, there are boundaries. Yeah, we can shorten them, we can lengthen them. Pretty soon I'd like him to pay attention way out there someplace. Way out there someplace. I'd have to look around and find out what happened to my water bottle, because it's about time for a water bottle. It's an orange one. Orange. Glad I brought a orange bottle. You see it, CJ? I thought I left it right there by your blue one. The older I get, the more I appreciate light lines. Big, heavy old things that weigh my shoulders down. And this is just a line of communication. I'm not afraid you're going to break it. You could probably tug a tugboat with it, or an old Ford truck if you came along one dead beside the road. He says, oh, you're just a little... He just says, the rope, the distance has changed, and he doesn't understand, see? But when I get into a distance that he understands, this is just a test to see what he understands. There. This also shows you how much you get spoiled in a round corral. Uh-oh, there we go with those feet again. See there we go with those feet again. Well, I know when we came out, I set it right beside your. The cat hasn't been in here to take it. We're having fun tangling on. No. No, maybe I put it over here when I was looking for stuff. I'm going to try to encourage him to quit putting his nose down there where he can step on the rope. But, you know, a lot of people, you see something on YouTube, oh man, that looks neat. It's all pretty and everything's just, you never see what it took to get that way. When we put the film on, you get to see whatever happened. If I trip on my gloves or trip on my tongue, it's all there. It's all there. This is not mindless circles. There, but there. Now, we'll give you an opportunity to go out that way. There. But we don't want to go 377 circles and find out. We want to find out, hey, let's see if we can stop our feet. Stop our feet. Stop our feet. Now can we go that way? No. So what he's saying, he's happy to go to the right. He has more difficulty going off to the left. And that might just be today. Maybe it's because I didn't put any cologne on today. Who knows? It doesn't matter why. Let's just see if we can get it better. So now, we'll see if he can start there. Now you might want to sniff the flag, which just gives us another challenge. Let's see if we can go out that way. Oh, maybe because he likes to have a little direction first. Oh, that makes a big difference, doesn't it? That's far enough. Even he's running around being silly, just, well, see what you can do. Take the silly away and try that direction. No matter what you do, you have to start. So the more often you start and stop, the more practice you get. Instead of just going out and going 573 circles, let's do a half a circle. Let's do a quarter circle. Let's do it until we get some meaning. When we get some meaning, maybe communication. See, there my tongue got tied again. Then, oh, yeah, we get back on the payroll. Back on the payroll. Try to find a place to be pleased but not satisfied. If we're pleased but not satisfied, then we work on getting better. If we just get satisfied and say, well, that's good enough, chances are, before we get any better, it'll get a lot worse. So no matter how good it is, try to get it better. Now, he's going to say, well, we've been changing this way. You were going that way. Well, let's go ahead and go on that way. Sometimes the job says, yeah, we're going to stop here, but then we're going to go on. We're going to stop here, but then we're going to go on. Yeah. You used to be able to say, sun comes up, sun goes down. Hands on a clock go round and round. Pretty hard to find a clock that hands go round and round, but little horses can go round and round. He's still got a lot of play in him, but he sure doesn't look sad, mad, or anything else. He says, oh, check out those expressions. What is it? He's, oh, maybe if I work there. Let's see if he can back up a couple of steps. There's one. No, that's it back. There you go. There's two. There you go. Can you play jump rope? Let's see. Maybe the jump rope don't want to get going. There we go. Red Rovers. Come, CJ, come over. Come on. Oh, she said I could jump the other way. Okay. Now, come out here. We're going to see what we can find here. I'm holding a conversation. There. Just take the slack up and hold it. Don't pull. Don't pull. Let him find his own comfort. He says, oh, I got lots of things to check out. Well, hey, he's a little kid. Let him check them out. Hold the conversation. Pretty soon it's going to realize it's leaning behind his ears, leaning under his chin. He'll find a place to find his comfort. He has to find it. We still haven't tied this horse solid. But if I can be as dependable as a post, he will learn that it's all right when we do decide to tie him. Yeah. You're going to have to work it out. You're going to have to work it out. And he says, well, he's trying a little harder. That doesn't mean get upset. It says just work on your patience there. Oh, he found an answer. He found an answer. There's a lot of difference between tugging and pulling and spurring and whipping and just holding on. Hold a conversation. Hold a conversation. Yeah. Now, let's see if we can flip that rope over there. Flip that rope over there. Yep. This rope might not work out too well in the wind, but the wind's not blowing in here, so we'll use it while we can. Try to remember, throw with the arm that's on the side the rope is on. We can throw it out. We can throw it like a frisbee. But you might want to do it from the saddle one day. Now what happened? What do you suppose happened there? I don't know what happened. What happened? Let's see. Oh. Just hold a conversation. Oh, his brain came back. That halter slipped down to where he can chew on it again. And maybe I tied that last knot with my gloves on. I don't remember, but halters don't usually slip. Halters don't usually slip, but you know what? Things happen. we have a predicament. Oh, we might have a bigger predicament. What are we going to do? We're going to let him think about it. Yeah, let him think about it. No, that's not going to help it. Oh, maybe if I chew it off, it's all right. Let him worry about it. Let him think about it. Yeah, he might show me a better answer. Maybe make the rope a little hard to hold on to. There. Oh, he's on to something. He's on to something. Hold the conversation. This might prove I'm crazy. I'd rather be crazy than insane, but hey, I bet we can catch him if all else fails. Oh, I hope he doesn't find an open door, so we'll shut the open door just in case. Now he'll probably head for the haystack. Just save the camera, that's all we got to save. Oh, he wants to take over. Now he wants to be a camera operator. Probably not fair for CJ not to be loaded, have a flag of her own. Don't stop now. Come on. You see how tight he's tied. Let's see what happens if we go here. Oh, he says, I found a drink. Let him have a drink. Oh, there's a sharp shovel. It probably would be all right to be in the corner. Let's see if he can stop at the end of that panel again. Right about there. It didn't quite make it, but he can back up to it. See, there's just a little checks and balances. I had an idea, but I didn't beat him up because he missed it. He didn't miss it. I missed my timing spot maybe. So here we have to get past the camera again because he wants to get in the camera. You want a flag or we're doing okay? Now we might have a challenge. Oh, he says, oh, yeah. See if we can change directions. Oh, didn't make it. He saw that camera. He loves that camera. He was leaning in there towards changing directions. And he said, well, there's just too many things in here to look into. Too many things to think about. So We thought about changing directions, but us change it a little different. We just go this way. We change directions. Oh, there. You can eat on the run. Eat on the run. But he won't tell me where my drink is. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Let's see if we can get focused on one direction. Pretty hard to focus on one direction when we have a big stack of hay out there. Gotta be careful on that rubber mat. Yeah, it's something you gotta learn on yourself. You learn how not to fall down in the snow. Let's go back that way. Wow. That's better than a rubber mat. Oh, he thought. Let's see if we can find a place to stop. Oh, he stayed off that mat. See, he's smarter already. Yeah. Found a place to stop, didn't you? Yeah, come on. You're a silly boy. Yeah, you're a silly boy. Yeah. He was going to put the halter on himself. He thinks he needs a little more direction. Let's switch back to the other rope. Yeah, switch to the other line. Probably can't catch him when I want him. Because you can see he's going to be hard to get. I'm hurrying. I'm hurrying. Yeah. What do you think you're doing? Let's see if we can get organized. Maybe if we can get organized, we can get caught. So we have that there. We have this here. How about your attention over here? Somebody coming? Somebody coming? Who's at the door? Now see if we can find the gloves. It's probably full of dirt. When I used to do this every day, or at least 7 days a week, one of the things I used to tell people is I have a couple little things. Don't sneak and be on time. People that are habitually late don't realize how much time they're wasting. That's not wasting their time. They're wasting who everybody's waiting on, their time. So if the plan is to be there at 7 o'clock and you can't be there till 7:30, you ought to say, I can't be there till 7:30. Well, check with the rest of the people and maybe they could show up at 7:30. But if we're there at 7:30, you ought to be there at 7:32. So don't be late because it's rude. Don't sneak. because one day you'll sneak up on your horse and he'll surprise you because he was asleep. If he's asleep, you better wake him up. Wake him up. Oh, that was sneaky, wasn't it? I dropped the rope. Let him know something was going to happen. Be aware. Don't sneak. But looky here. We ran around a little bit. He's still got a little something in there. I don't know if he's just trying to tell me he missed me, or he's got a new tooth he's trying to itch. Doesn't matter. Be aware of it. If it gets to be where it's aggressive looking, then get aggressive back to the point that balances it. No more and no less. Take care of the situation. Let's see if you can still pick up your feet. Can you pick up your feet? Could be better. Yep, could be better. How about this one back here? You got itches, huh? Yeah. How about this foot? There. Come on, you can do it. If you quit biting me, you could pick your foot up easier. Yeah, you quit chewing. Oh, looky there. Chucky darn, what happened? Yeah, you're silly. You're silly. Now that one's kind of hard because it's all stretched out. Let's see if we can relocate it. Can we relocate that foot? There. Now. There. There we go. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Come on. There you go. Now, you can stand here a while. It looks like somebody's cleaned your feet and even run a rasp across them and cleaned them up. Yeah, but he's not going to do it on the fly. He wants you to stand there and relax. Be comfortable. Run that rasp across there. There's no focus out here. He just says, oh, he might be getting ready to rope something. Yeah, well, might have to rope it with this hand. Doesn't mean anything. There's no focus. There's no intent. Now, if I intend for him to go someplace, I will look over there. I will suggest he go over there. And now I will apply whatever it takes for acceleration to get somewhere. Now, we've been stopping at this end. Let's see if we can stop over at this end. Yep. Come on, there's lots of little jobs between here and there. There you go. One step at a time. There we go. There we go. Check it out. There might be something of interest. Yeah. Don't take the curiosity away. He found another rope. Now he's going to try to open the gate. Oh, he got something else going for him. Uh-oh, now what'd you do? You tied your foot down, didn't you? while you're walking around aimlessly, keep your ears going. Keep your eyes going. Get your feelings going. You can feel he's coming along or he's not. He says, he might have to bump into that elbow next time it gets too close, because he's put that out often enough that, wait a minute, one of these days he might just take a hold of it. Let him know you like those elbows, where they are, not laying on a hospital table someplace. We need to move some furniture. Oh, he can move himself. Put these over here. Put this over here. Now, I don't know if anybody can see, but there's a window right there. There's a reflection of a little horse in there, and he thinks it's kind of interesting. Found your way back to the hay, didn't you? Huh? Now, someday that might be your saddle laying there. So what you'd like to do is be able to have your horse approach your saddle. Well, this is a saddle company, but there's no saddles around right now. Now, he says, I know what comes in that. If that was my saddle there, of course he volunteered to go up to it. I would like him to go between me and the saddle. There he gets a chance to look at my saddle with his right eye. Now I'm going to send him back the other direction and have him look at my saddle with his left eye. Take another look with the right eye. Go through there. There. Now this time, I want him to look at the right eye, but at the other side of the saddle. Now, right eye with me closer. He still has to go through that little opening. Yep. We might get between a rock and a hard spot someday and have to work on these things that are a little closer. Yeah, that's a funniest saddle. I don't know what kind of horse it might fit, but the owner values that saddle. He doesn't want it to be walked on, so he's going to suggest the horse come on this side of the saddle. There. We weren't arguing. There's no argument. They're just saying, well, this is a simple fact. That's a valuable piece of equipment. It's not made to ride in. Now, let's go up and put your head in the saddle. That's probably the easiest part, isn't it? He says, but it's empty. It's not to climb in. Not to climb in. Might scratch on it, might rub on it. Might step to the saddle. Where's my focus? Where's my focus? Come on. You have to look over there. There you go. Not over it, just to it. Yeah, Yeah, you know, life's full of lots of little bumps. He bumped into the cart. I really realized that's not a saddle, but it could have been. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, I know what we can find. Yeah. This is a simple little mounting block. It's amazing how many people I see take the mounting block to their horse, they climb up on the mounting block and the horse left. Well, maybe he's not going to do that. That's okay. We're going to step up here and let him know that things look different from here. I brought the mounting block out because it's easier to focus on. But a lot of people just take that and they mount it. Oh, and he takes a step back and they get off and they move it again. Takes a step, they're over here. They chase that all over when it had been a lot more productive. Plant that, make sure it's fairly steady, and get the horse to come to the mounting block. So there, he's gone that way. So now, go this way. You'd be surprised. This mounting block does wonders in the arena. It never gets too far away. But if you're out on a trail ride and you're only 10 or 15, maybe 25 miles from the arena, it's pretty hard to find a rock that you can pick up and carry up to your horse. You might find an old stump. Chances are, if you can move it, it's too rotten to stand on anyway. While I'm up here, he also gets the opportunity to see that maybe I'll operate up here, which might be a little closer to where I might ride him from someday. Now, we work on our patience. We take the time it takes. If we get mad and excited, it's going to take longer. So all we do is eat this tuna a little bite at a time. Little bite at a time. And then one day, and we're getting closer to that day, one day he says, let's go for a ride. Now that's not the answer. That's not the answer when I'm standing on the ground. It's not the answer when I'm up in the air. It's just different. Different. The answer is going to be the same. I'm holding a conversation, and you are leaning on it. There. 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 See, sometimes before we get here, he has to experience that lean. He said, well, I'm not sure what you want. Well, that's all right. There. There. He's getting closer all the time. Getting closer all the time. So now when he leans out here, he's going to make it. He's going to make it. Going to make it. There. He's getting closer. If I was younger, I could probably get on from there, but I'm not younger, and I'm not apt to get younger, so we might as well get it better. Older comes way before younger comes. There. Now that he's here, you let him hang out a little bit. Don't get in a big hurry to chase him off and do something else. Pretty soon you say, well, I didn't have that much fun there. Why do I want to go back there? So get acquainted with your rope. Get up. Oh, looky there. Oh. Be comfortable. Doesn't matter. There. You might even swing the rope from up here. Oh, There, let the rope come to rest. Now, you might go up here. No, wrong answer. No, don't do that. Now, you're leaning on it. So I have to make sure you can't pull my shoulder up there. Yeah. I can hold that out there, but if I hold it out there too long, then I have to go see the chiropractor. So, there. 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 Okay, there. There. Now, if he gets this kind of attention when he gets here, he say, well, he can reach a place up there that he doesn't normally scratch from the ground. Now, rather than drive him away from there, take him for a walk, kind of reflect on what you just did and any problems you might have had doing it, and come up and do it again. I bet before long, he'll be meeting me up here. Sometimes you might have to get on from this side. Yeah, so you might as well be familiar with this side. It wasn't necessarily the plan, but sometimes it's not a bad idea to just adjust to the way it worked. Because someday that rock might be in a spot where, wait a minute, this is the only side you can get on. So hey, might as well get familiar with the little guy right now. Now see if we can go back to our original thought there. You got to be careful. Yeah, this little smaller block than mine could probably tip a little easier than mine. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now, if the weather cooperates, or it doesn't matter, when the weather does cooperate, you can do that a couple times a week. When you're ready to go ride this horse, he's ready to get on and go. One day we'll be putting a saddle on him. It might be the next visit. It just depends on what kind of saddle's available. I've got a saddle that would fit him pretty well. We might have to check and see if I got a girth that fits him. Because that saddle is a combination. It's somewhere between an English and a Western. So it doesn't use the same latigo that. Now, I don't think he's trying to tell me he's bored, because he's been doing that since we started today. So it's just something to be aware of. And the next time, we'll just get his feet operating really fast. Yeah, because it's pretty hard to bite me when he's going 40 miles an hour. 40 miles an hour. Oh, he's going to climb up on it. It's all right. And sometimes when your brain gets cold, these ideas come a little slow. This would have been a better option. Every time he tries to take a nip of my coat, he just went out and went 2 or 3 laps. Back when I was young and dumb, I had a couple of stallions, and I never had a problem with the stallions. I had problems with the people. I'd take my stallion on a trail ride. We'd stop for lunch, I'd find a tree way out in the bush someplace where kind of uncomfortable to get there, but I thought nobody'd bother him. Next thing I know, somebody's put their mare right next to him. And the mare, he says, the stud says, I got a saddle on, so I better just mind my P's and Q's. Okay. The worst he does with the saddle on is, okay. So then the mare owner goes out to get her mare, and all of a sudden the mare squeals and kicks her. So people have a problem. The stud didn't do that. And you can't blame it on the mare. You blame it on the person that put her there. So, another stallion later, I noticed it was the same problem. Wait a minute. You're out rounding up cattle. You have a little situation. Oh, how's stud? Oh, all of a sudden people, oh, you're riding a stud? And all of a sudden nobody wants to talk to you. Oh, he's riding a stud. You got to stay away from him. No, it's people you got to be watch out for. And I know it never apply to anybody out there, but just food for thought. If you see your neighbors acting something like that, see. But there's enough horses in this world. You don't need so many stallions. And I don't have to be responsible to watch out that some mare owner watches where she puts her mare. I've had more mares than geldings. Mares will give you your heart. They'll also break your heart. Just the way it is. They try harder. Then again, talking about mares and stallions, even on your favorite mare, oh, the day you decide to go pony that stallion, she decided he's cuter than you and she invited him in a saddle. That's not fun either. Can get kind of Western, but it's not necessarily fun. So, just food for thought. Food for thought. Said, yeah, I think we've done enough for a wind up, and maybe we'll go have a sandwich and play with another horse, but I think we're doing all right. If we have enough to offer, we can work these guys quite a while. When we start losing it, like lately he's been a little nippy. Well, I haven't seen him for a month except for Saturday. And it's just not me that he's nipping at. You find out now he's nipping at the other horses. He's kind of nipping at the dogs. He's just growing up. And what he's doing, he's trying to see if there's any change in the hierarchy. Can he run the show, or am I still running the show? And that's okay. Now, I don't know if the camera caught it the other day, but about the fourth or fifth time, and it wasn't in a row, he might take a nip here, take a nip there, but about the fourth time he took a nip at me, my elbow took a nip at him. Wrong answer. We're human. We're playing with the horse, working on ourselves. When he took that last nip, I should have just got his feet as busy as I could get them, and have him stay busy for a little longer than what he wanted, to where he could make the choice of should I take a nip or should I just hang out. So we make mistakes. Try to learn from your mistakes. Some people would say you've got 10 seconds to just knock the snot out of him. Make him wish he was dead. Well, in my younger days, I might have tried that. I know I've tried that. And sometimes it's okay. It's never okay. I shouldn't say that it's okay. I'd say sometimes it didn't cause a lot of harm. But on the right horse or the wrong mule, it may have set me back 3 weeks or 3 months in my training. It didn't help my relationship. So, you know, what you see is what you get. And what that was saying, when I got that way, it's not necessarily that he couldn't deal with it. I finally decided it's cold enough, maybe we should have had a cup of tea, cup of coffee or sandwich or something, and said, wait a minute, out here in this cold, I've had enough for the day. So it just is what it is. So I don't get to sit around when Dave edits this stuff, so I don't know what he takes in, what he leaves in, what he takes out. Lately, I think he leaves everything in. I don't have a speech impediment, but sometimes when it's cold, sometimes when I'm tired, I invert words. I put the first part of one word on the back of another one, and it just says, well, it's time to take a break. So maybe you can look in the mirror and find something like that for yourself, and you can find out that, hey, sometimes it's time to take a break. Sometimes it's take a break. Now, Saturday we brought that cart over and decided, well, that's a pretty poor substitute for a saddle. And maybe CJ, right now while we're talking about it, we're going to try to get around to putting a saddle on in a little bit. But maybe you should go get a shorter cinch now. Well, we'll try to stay within the boundaries of the camera, and if we miss, we just hope people can forgive us. Now, we're going to give him a chance to stand around in a minute. If he can't make it, don't worry about it. Put him back to work. Put him to work. He doesn't have to stand perfectly still, but he doesn't get to be obnoxious either. So we're going to work on starting him out. See if we can go in this little circle. Keep going. What we want him to go around there, I want to hold a curve in his body. I'm not telling him to trot. He has energy. Maybe he's cold. But what I'd like to do is have him go around. Notice the slack in the rind. Every once in a while, he bumps into it. We're going to try to stay in his general area. And then every once in a while, we're going to ask that front end. See there, I'm twisted up. I'm talking the wrong end of the horse. We want the back end of the horse to step under, step under, step under. Then we want to take the front end around and go the other way. So now we're thinking about walking. Now he's thinking about being silly. You can see it in his expression, his ears. He'll think about walking. But every once in a while, you see, he puts a little bump. I'm trying to walk kind of a small circle. I'm helping him find that circle. Now, horses out in the pasture, they don't walk circles all day. They walk in a straight line. We want him to walk in a straight line on a circle. How can he do that? Well, he can keep his nose on one part of it and his tail on another part of it, and that's a straight line. Because a circle is a straight line with a beginning and an end. He has a big... I'm sorry, what? Okay. Okay. See, that way we won't be looking for ever or waiting forever. But now we got to get back on the track of where my brain was going. What we're working on, we want to try to get the back end to go that way. And then have the front end come around this way. The other day after lunch, we were lucky enough to come out and there were two horses hanging out. They didn't have anything to do, so we saddled them up and rode for a while. We were working on some of these things, and CJ asked a couple of questions, and we had an answer for the day, but I've had the weekend to think about it, and if we'd have gone off and did this exercise right here, and then if you're riding them, you can bring this on around, come the same way. But if we'd have done this on the ground, everything would have worked better. So some things you can simulate on the ground. But the separation, get the back end to work independent from the front, get the front to work independent from the back is what we're trying to accomplish. So here's how you do it. We might start here. We'll see how many times we can change directions before we get to the other end of the barn. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. I don't remember that it ever got very hot this summer since we picked him up. But maybe you can tell he's a little shaggier, but you can tell that, hey, he's cool and he's walking and kind of, well, yeah, it's cold out. But you know what? That's the way it is. We could say, well, we could put him up till his sun comes out. He might be 7 years old before it warms up to ride him. So if we can make it, let's get out and put a little time with our horse. We can't leave him hang around all winter, then wonder why the first time we saddled him up in the springtime, he bucked us off. So here we have a chance to visit. We're working on a relationship. So we're going to see if he can stop over there. We can see if he can go 180 degrees. Find a place to rest over here this other direction. Over there. 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 We have to be careful that when he sticks his nose out, I don't accidentally sticks his nose out. If I back up, pretty soon he'd say, oh, he'd be pushing me around. No, I'm going to stand my ground. If he gets pushy, who causes whose feet to move? So we got to be careful what we teach him. Now, if I back away with a suggestion, that's suggesting that he comes along. But that's far enough. That's pretty nice. He's licking his lip and said, hey, that nickel dropped and it hit the right slot. By the way, I got an itch over here. We just see if we can hang out a few minutes. If we can't hang out here a few minutes, how can we expect to hang out when he's got a saddle on? If we can't get our pockets to quiet down because they got marbles rolling around or butterflies or whatever you have inside of you, some people call it nerves, how can we expect him to settle down? Now, if I'm the kind of person that can't stand still, if I'm busy doing this all day, how could I expect to get on a thoroughbred or an Arabian horse that might want to do the same thing? I might have to, on that horse, I might have to settle down and just kind of take a step like this. We adjust. Let's see what happens when we run out of slack. Oh, looky there. There, that's good. That's good. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't think any one of you has seen me stop and look in the book to see what to do next. There's lots of books out there, and they tell you do this, do this, do this, and you have to go at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if the horse didn't read that book, or maybe he did, but he's a super fast reader and he read faster than you, he's already forgotten about that page. Maybe we better just take a look and see what we can offer. Now we'll see. He says, I'm beautiful. I think I'm focused on the camera. But there, you bring his attention. Pretty soon the feet will follow. He's got a nice expression. His ears are kind of looking at me. Let's watch over here. Now, there. Try to see what part follows me first. Might be his ear, might be his eye, but I have to have both before his feet come along. I think I'm going to let him hold that rope on the ground a minute. I'm going to get a raincoat or something to set the saddle on, because if I set the saddle down here, I pick it up, I'm going to get all dirty. And, well, there's no sense trekking that dirt to the car. So as long as he doesn't go to the hay pile, run over CJ, or find any other activity to get in trouble, we just leave him there. Now he might see this spooky thing coming and leave, but hey, now he took a step to say, hey, yeah, you did really well. That wasn't really ground tied, because we haven't bothered hobbling him yet. We'll get to it one of these days. But he has no reason to follow me. If he does, I'm not going to make it a big deal out of it. But I'm going to let him know that, hey, I appreciate you staying here. Now, it might have been an accident. He might have to come over and check this skinny thing out while I'm gone. He has curiosity working for him. As long as he doesn't abuse it. Now he figured out he got himself in a pickle. He's standing on the lead rope. He's ground tied. What are you going to do about it? Well, you got to think about it. I'm in a pickle. What am I going to do? Let him think. Let him work it out. Oh, now maybe I'll move this guy just a little bit more, because I'm reasonably certain it didn't scare him very bad. So this right here might save his life someday. It might save your life. So let him think. I could chase him off and his foot would come unstuck. But the more opportunities he has to work himself out of these pickles. Oh, there, he found out. Now he's going to go back to check this guy out. Well, timeout. Yeah, nose drips. It probably plug up the... I have been so blessed in my life of riding so many horses that I have learned when you can take your handkerchief out and blow and when you can't. And on that horse you can't take your handkerchief out and blow your nose on. It gives you opportunity to learn, hey, there's a lot of things you need to take care of. CJ, I know you went and got a cinch, but I don't know where you put it. Well, okay, what I'll do, I'll go back and get my blue one off the rack there, and we'll try that and find out what we need for next time. But we're going to get the saddle on and off him, whether it stays or whatever we have. Gloves seem to be the problem again today. Okay. Looks like I better do a little rope maintenance, or I'm going to be just as dirty as if I'd have. This is a nice surface in this arena, in this indoor barn, whatever. But the dirt can turn you into sunshine. Let him look at it. He can look at it, doesn't mean he gets to destroy it. I had a customer probably 25 years ago, maybe longer, that had a husband that thought, man, it's cute, had the horse chewing on ropes. Well, I don't know how many of their lead ropes they chewed up before they found out, well, yeah, it's cute, but it's also expensive. They can have respect for your stuff. Now, if he was a scaredy cat, which he's not, I'd spend more time sending him to and back away from the saddle. But I don't see a problem here. So what I'm going to try to do is get him in a position where I can reach him and the saddle. No, that's not how you put it on. No, you don't go up and stomp it. A lot of people say, what are you doing on that side? Well, you know, sometimes things happen. I was gathering cattle one day and came home with a broken arm. I didn't come home for 3 or 4 days, or whenever they let me out of the hospital. Driveway and found out, but I went out and said, well, this is a good time. Driving a pony cart was worse than riding a horse. Got the ponies out, got the cart out. Oh, man, that was terrible. Camera catch that, or we need to change the angle. Now, I don't want him to think that it's got to stay there forever. So we'll just take that booger off. We'll put the blanket down there. Put the saddle down there. Anyway, this broken arm, didn't want to put the saddle on that way. But you know, that broken arm didn't want to get the fork to my mouth either. So that week with the broken arm, I learned there's a lot of things can happen over here. Might get potatoes in my ears a few times, but pretty quick I got it figured out. Worked out all right. It took a little while longer. The arm got healed up. Somebody brought me a horse. They'd managed to saddle 3 times. They went out the fourth time. They couldn't get in the corral with him. So, kind of told me that maybe somewhere they got in a hurry. They got in a big hurry. Maybe they cinched it down. You know, 40 years ago, you used to see a lot of people kick a horse in the belly to cinch him up. Well, they know it's going to let the air out. Maybe let the air out, but at the same time, you created a lot more problems. So be careful how you do things. Now, if you notice, you see that cinch hanging down there. Whoa, that's all right. That's all right. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's the difference. But that's why we have two sides of every story. Now, we're going to go for a little walk. If the saddle falls off, it's not the first time. There's nothing in here that's going to destroy it. But I'm going to let it sit there for a few minutes. I'm going to take it off and put it again. Maybe he saw that cinch come flying around there because it wasn't on this side. Yeah, you still don't get to destroy it. So we'll go back. A lot of people would have tied him up and put the saddle on. Well, that might have worked, but he might have pulled back and broke his neck. So, not everything works out the way it's planned. Well, that doesn't look like that was the problem. Put it up there and see what he thinks about it. If it gets dirty, we'll brush it off. Rope have to take care of itself sometimes. Now, come up here, come over here. Now, maybe it's just because this is this side of the horse, and maybe it was that extra blue scary cinch. Doesn't matter. It's back on. I'm pleased that it didn't go very far south. You know, I've had horses that took me days. I've had mules that took a lot longer than that because I wasn't the first one to come along. I haven't had too many mistakes here to cover up. I'm sure he caught me on a few, but he hadn't told anybody, so we'll keep it secret. Anyway, I've had people that got that saddle on the first time. Got it on the second time, third time they couldn't get in the corral with it. Well, I worked and I worked and I worked. Put that saddle on outside. Couldn't get close to the horse. I almost get it on. And then it goes south. So then I got a surcingle. You know, I was probably only 35 then, maybe 40 years old. So I could go around quite a few laps. Finally decided, well, I'll try a surcingle. I couldn't put a surcingle on from that side. All of a sudden the light bulb went off in my head and I come over and put a surcingle on this side. Hey, took it off, put it on, took it off, put it on. Went and picked up the saddle and put it on like he'd had it on forever. Saddled him up 3 or 4 days from the right side, and all of a sudden the left side got to working. Now you can check things out, just don't get too ambitious about chewing. Now, another advantage of putting the saddle on from this side, most of you, well, I don't know if there's most of you because I don't know if most of you are riding Western, English, or side saddle. So I can't say most. But now, looks like I need to take my gloves off because we're getting ready to add another piece to the pickle. Yep. There's no sense of me fumbling around and making a mess because my fingers are cold and I got gloves on. Because I probably couldn't poke the thing through there with my gloves on. Go up another notch on this one. Can't find the hole. There. There. We just see if we can walk up and get a different camera angle. If it falls off, we just start over. So now, if we can get his feet to kind of come to rest, we can get a little bit better view of that left side. His feet will come in a minute. We're not in a hurry. Okay, let's see if we can get one more step. That saddle might be heavy, making his feet stuck to the ground. There. Now, I'm going to put that over my arm there. Now, the reason I'm coming this way, if he decides he has to leave in a hurry, if he places a foot on my pockets, that's a whole lot better than going under this way and having the feet in the teeth. So, here we go. Oh, looky here. I think we're going to be short enough. But we're not in a hurry. We're not in a big hurry. I bet that what we'll do here, yeah, I bet if I would go over and shorten that other side, that we'd get there. I don't know if it's just cold leather, cold fingers, what the deal is. Now I could tuck those away, but I might need to get that saddle off. Yeah. We don't need to force the issue. We can just let it soak here a little bit. He's not too worried and I'm not too concerned. I'm trying to keep my hands warm so I can manage to get my gloves out. This would be a good time for questions, comments, confusions, requests. But communication's got to be two ways. It's only one way today. So, yeah, we know we're making progress. And I don't want to take a chance. If I can't get it snug enough to stay, I don't want to get too big a hurry. Oh yeah, we got 2 more holes over here. And 1 more over there. We might be in the last hole, so guess what? We just hang this up over here. And we'll put it back on the saddle rack. He's more interested in chewing on that stirrup than he is turning his feet loose. We just hold a conversation. No different just because he's got a saddle on. He has to find his own slack. He had to find out how to get his nose loose when he was standing on the rope. It's no different just because he has a saddle on. He might think it's different. And it might be a good time to fix the halter just a little bit. But we can't blame that on a saddle. It's not his normal halter. He doesn't care. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, silly horse, I wouldn't let him do that. Well, yeah. When he has that resistance, he has to work it out. All these little challenges are challenges that you don't have to face the first time you're 10 miles from home. He fixed it right here. He said, yep, there's a stirrup on that side too. Yep. Yep. Now, we just go for a little walk. Go for a little walk. Check it out. Smell a little bit like you, or smell like the last horse or mule it was on? Huh? What's the deal? Huh? What's the deal? Oh, yeah. You gonna try to take that and chase me with it? Huh? I don't know if a lot of you, probably some of you, have seen The Road to the Horse. It's a competition where you get 2 or 3 trainers together, and they have 3 horses, or a horse at least for each one. They give them 2 days, sometimes 3 days, to see what they can get done in 3 days. Well, that's entertainment. It's not necessarily good horsemanship. Because a lot of times when you add competition for money, fame, or fortune, horsemanship goes out the window. People get in a hurry. And then the same thing, oh, that's wonderful. They can do this and they can do that. Yeah, but just because they can doesn't mean you can take that horse home, and you can do it. Now, there goes that scary side again. But that wasn't bad. We're showing improvement. Now, everybody knows I'm kind of lazy, so that instead of walking around that side, to fix the cinch, we just bring the horse over here. Now, through the years, I probably saved a few pairs of saddles, pairs of shoes. Haven't saved any. Now, what's going on? The wind just decided to come about 100 miles an hour, and there's a lot of extra noise. Well, they're different noises than what they are outside. All of a sudden, the barn is squeaking. Remember, this guy came from somewhere way out there. And so, if he decides he has to check something out because the wind has shifted, then it's just what it is. But there's too many windy days to put the horse up and say, oh, I can't work my horse today, it's too windy. Some people do. And that's probably better that they do. If they can't deal with the wind, then they probably should put their horse up. But the problem is, there's days, whether you're in Colorado, Wyoming, or I heard the wind even blows in Nebraska. But maybe it don't blow. Maybe it sucks. But anyway, oh, looky there. That's almost too short. We're going to find a balance. We are going to find a balance. Oh, it's a little tighter now, isn't it? Now, if you could back up a half a step, there, that would make it easier. Way easier on me. Now, I don't want to jam that up in a big hurry. We just let it soak there a minute. We'll see if he can walk over there a little bit. It'd be better if you took that out of your mouth. Took that out of your mouth. Now you go over there a while. I'm in a pretty fair position. If he decides to cannonball out of here, I could sit down and maybe change his mind. But you can see he's pretty worried about that rain slicker. Had to sneak up on it so he can stomp the snot out of it. Poor old skinny cowboy has done his job. Done his job. Does he look like he's grown up, CJ? Well, we can all see the saddle's going to be a big problem. The only problem I've ever had with this saddle is getting people out of it. They get in there and say, oh! Well, it's my horse and my saddle. Might be my saddle and your horse, but hey, I'll tell you where you can get one like it. And I've managed to convince a few people. Not all that bad. We're not just going in mindless circles. We're working on circle. Lady asked me the other day, how do you work on getting your circle round? This might help. Get that horse used to it. Set your feet, set your focus. Focus is one of the biggest things. Another thing you could do, you could be sitting up there. You could trust the horse to make it on that circle. Trust means a slack line. If he goes a little bit out of the circle, then take up a little slack. I'm going to try to push a little more. There you go. Put a little more slack in there. And see if we can get back to our circle. See? He still thinks he ought to go stomp that poor dead yellow cowboy. Well, that direction's got to come to a halt. Now, a mistake I see a lot of people make, they go out and do 400 circles. As soon as they stop, they do 100 the other direction. Wait a minute. Then they wonder why they can't get their horse stopped. Hey, he worked a little bit. Now, there, if he gets to chewing on the saddle, I'm not going to beat on him, but I'm going to make it hard for his feet, hard for his teeth to chew on that saddle while his feet are going. 40 miles an hour. Like I say, our brain can get cold and mix words up. We can just laugh at Dennis and say, oh, well, he's just getting old. Well, Dennis has been mixing words for a long time. It's just part of the deal. And he's acting like a big kid. Yeah, he's acting like a big kid. Oh, you know what? Some days the wind blows and you don't get everything done you planned on. But hey, I think we're better off than we were yesterday. Better off than we were today. I'm not too worried about going to Iran. Never been there. Don't care to be there either. Let's see what would happen here. Let's see what would happen here. Oh, that put access to leather. So we call him Leathermouth. Yeah. Maybe it's safe enough now. Tuck those tabs in so they're not so tempting to chew on. Yeah. So check this side too. Oh, looky there. We have 3 holes left. And I just saying, looky there. I bet we can snug it up a little bit now. People would be better off when they saddle their good old campaign horse. They saddle him up a little bit at a time. Oh, they know old Tony, you saddle him up and go down the road and all of a sudden the saddle's loose. Well, he's just telling on you. He's saying you're rude when you put the saddle on. Now I've noticed there's a buckle hanging out there that would rub on my leg. I can tell my wife or somebody else has been riding my saddle. Yeah, this side's right. But those little details, you know, you wonder why you got a sore. Well, wait a minute. Because somebody put something up wrong. So we'll see if he can work on his patience. Maybe it just slipped around there, but I don't think so. Maybe that's better anyway. Be careful what you watch and what you're taking for granted when you watch something on TV. You see, some of these trainers, never seen an English trainer happen, but these Western trainers, they'll be out with their super $1 million horse and their $40 saddle, and their back cinch would be hanging down about that far. Well, they just haven't had enough experience to know that if a horse has an itch, decides to scratch, he can stick his foot right in that. If you're going to have a back cinch, have it on tight enough that it'll do some good. Otherwise, take it off. If you're afraid you'll miss it, tie a dollar bill on it and throw it in the creek. You missed the dollar bill. You leave that cinch down, hanging down from your belly that far, step over a log, stick your foot in there. You better wake up the swamper because you're about to see the biggest wreck you want to be in the middle of. A lot of people don't know what a swamper is. That's the guy that rides with the truck driver to help him load and unload. He's asleep in the cab over. Wake him up because you're fixing to have a wreck. Might not be today, might be tomorrow, but one day when everything's just cool. Oh man, this is cool. Oh, it's going to happen. It don't mean the guy's a bad trainer. It means he hasn't had that experience. If I can keep you from having that experience, hey, I can feel better and I can sleep better at night. I think we might use this saddle up for today. Don't wear out your welcome. It's all working well. Don't overdo it. When things are working well, sometimes it's a good idea to head for the house. There's another day. Push your luck, push it, and all of a sudden you've created a spot in your horse or worse. He tried to warn you a few times that, hey, I'm getting uncomfortable, and you ignored that, and all of a sudden he says, well, I'll get your attention. And so, whoop, that's okay. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to put the stirrups up over the top, put everything up here, and then all of a sudden have the stirrup fall down and have the horse run over me on the way out. I think that's probably a pretty good session, CJ.